Hello there, people. Today we have the Intel Celeron G1610 1155, and we're going to be using this CPU for the test bench. Now, the motherboard I'm going to be using today is the Intel G1610 this is out of an old rig I have. I'm going to put the CPU into this rig, this motherboard later on, if everything in that motherboard works. Now, I'm going to be using this CPU to run that. It's only 2.6 gigahertz, so it will be good enough. And it is a like it's 1155 and everything. This is just suitable for basic purposes, and you can even use this in an office computer or even a gaming rig. So I'm going to open the box very quickly, carefully with one hand since I'm holding the camera. Okay, we have the cooler here, the Celeron cooler. It's not sure if it's thinner or thicker than the i7 coolers. I will grab that cooler and bring it here in a few minutes, but this is the CPU itself. It's encased in the plastic casing here. Now, this CPU is good for office use. It's really good for any basic computing. I'll just zoom in, or zoom out. But this CPU is good for office. It's good. It's even probably good for gaming, but I would recommend you do step up a little bit to an i3 because you'll get the extra juice out of the i3. But this CPU is good for pretty much anything. It's good for for most games, I should say. It'll work well with a good GPU. It has an integrated GPU itself. It supports dual channel DDR3, and yeah, it's a pretty good CPU for what I'm going to be using it for. Now, there's one other thing I wanted to just say real quick, is that there's a real difference between the i7-2700K cooler, which I've replaced, this thing, and there's also a real difference between the Celeron cooler. As you see there. There's no copper base on this particular cooler, but I honestly have confidence that this will work. This thing's pins are fucked, and I'm not even going to be bothered trying to use this old cooler. I'm even tempted to turn this into a jet fan engine or something, but it'll be a good chipset cooler or something if I can adapt it. But either way, it works pretty well, and well, I got the CPU. That's what I'm looking for. Rightio, well, I got the CPU. I'm going to go ahead and install it to the socket. First of all, I'm just going to carefully remove it from its cover, which is a bit of a pain sometimes. And you see here, I'm holding this CPU by its sides. You are not to hold it like under the pins or anything like that. I'm looking at the socket. CPU should pretty much match up. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully drop the CPU into the socket, make sure it's lined up. I'm going to give it a slight, really gentle jiggle just to make sure there's nothing on there. Alright. Now, let's see, the socket's all lined up. There shouldn't be any high parts on this. Alright, so now it's lined up. I'm going to carefully drop this down. I'm going to just push down like so. You hear a crack, and that's just the air coming out of the socket. And there we have it. We just mounted the CPU to the socket so that this board is pretty much ready to go after I install the cooler. Hello there, kiddies. Just going to show the board as a finished rig. You see here, we've got the board with the cooler on it right now. So all I need is the RAM to put here and the power supply to plug in here and here, and it'll be all good to go. I'm not going to be in need of a hard drive quite just yet, but yeah. Now, I've heard there is a problem with these fans, how they just spin up and go like it, they go like it, they go like stop, and then just spin up like that. If anyone knows how to fix any problems that have been known to happen with these, just let me know. Well, anyways, yeah, hope to see you all again soon. Bye-bye.